Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, got the FREEWING 80mm JL-8 here, a Corum. We're going to take it up and do a follow-up speed run. This time we're going to do the speed run without the tanks on, the bottom drop tank and the two tanks on the either wing, and we're going to see if we can't get it up over. We had 131, 133, I think, last time as far as the fastest. We're going to see if we can't obviously increase that. Same battery, same 5000 China Hobby G Plus battery. I think it's G Plus or their G series with 70C 5006S. Right, left, up, down, right, left. And like we normally do, we take it up. We're going to straight and level and then a hard dive. Landing after each time. All right. Really impressed.
Take off flap, timer reset.
With this plane. All right. Kind of a cross breeze, so have to deal with that.
Retract, tuck away.
All right, let me get turned around here. All right, then we're going to go straight and level into the wind here. All right.
The gear is down. Landing flaps. Flaps up.
All right. They definitely did their homework with this plane.
The motor is shut down.
All right. End read. All right. 289 feet. And 103 mile an hour, 103 straight and level. Okay. Okay, start again.
EDF hot and better be careful.
All right, I'm reading. Now we're going to do the same thing, but in a hard dive with the wind, just to see how much we can get an increase. Just for fun. This is just for fun. Well, the whole thing is fun.
Time remaining 3 minutes. Take off flaps.
Here we go.
Flaps up, retract, tuck away.
Take it out, flip it, hard dive. Oh, I love that howl.
The gear is down. Landing flaps. Flaps up.
All right. Incredible jet. Absolutely incredible. Now, I want to say the second part of the maiden,
The motor is shut down.
we had it to 131 mile an hour. I think that was it. Let's see if we increase that. Oh, I'd say so. Not too much though. 133 mile an hour. 133 mile an hour without the tanks. So we gained 2 mile an hour without the tanks on. So at least that's the way I'm going to claim it. All right, with the GNS Performance Analyzer, when you're not using it, you want to turn it off on the app, then that turns the device off. And let me just grab that real quick so I can show you that device. Yeah, and just now, all the lights just now went out on it. But that's the device right there. And all I do, just put some Velcro on there, and I Velcro it somewhere inside the plane. All right, we still got 2 minutes, so first two minutes were for science. These last two minutes are for fun.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
All right. Pick it up. Have some fun here. All righty.
Take off flap.
Here we go.
Flap retract, cut away.
I love the colors on this plane. I love the howl this thing makes.
Time remaining 1 minute.
All right, we'll do a gear pass, then we'll...
The gear is down.
All right, my gear is down. Just so you know, I got a KM model version 5 afterburner in there.
Landing flaps.
And a 6S China Hobby brand 6S with a 70C LiPo. All right, with the wind, cross breeze, I don't want to horse her around too much, trying to make sure she stays straight on the runway. I'd rather swallow my pride and go off the runway a little bit than flip this beautiful plane. And I will tell you this, reverse thrust works really well. All right, 2 seconds left on a 4-minute timer of total stick time.
The motor is shut down.
Motor's shut down. Let me show you my flying rates and then we'll check the battery and CG. All right, the flying rates I just flew in because I don't have AS3X per se and gyro gains. That's set in the guard system. And the guard system, unless you have the Blue Bridge hooked up and you can look at it, I couldn't tell you. I'm going the way the factory tuned it and leaving it alone. My ailerons for me are 100%, 30% expo. Elevator, 100%, 30% expo. Rudder, 100%, 30% expo. All right, Gabriel, make sure you can see the flaps from the bottom. Okay, the flap settings. Flaps up are a -100 with no mix. Takeoff, -60 with a 5% down elevator mix.
Landing flaps.
Landing's a -25 with a 10% down elevator mix, 2-second deployment. And Gabriel, if you'll focus in, look at the back of the plane here. As you can see, there's like 2 clicks of down trim on the elevator. That on the elevator section of the horizontal, that's what you want by default, or recommended by the manual. And I fully endorse that. She flies straight and level like that. All right, CG on the plane, which this is very unusual that Motion or Horizon Hobby, there I go again, that Motion and FREEWING did not put CG marks. They do on every plane they've got. But there are, you know what, now there's 2 lines there that are raised that don't seem to have any other purpose, but those may be supposed to be the CG, but CG is right there, 78 millimeters back from the leading edge, or leading edge root of the wing, puts it right there, and but there's no CG indication raised letters like there normally is. So let's see where I've got my battery. That puts it on my CG bumps I got with hot glue there. Puts it the wind at how hard, perfectly level. All right, let's check our battery. If you want to come here, Gabriel, so I can show them. This is my battery placement. This is the China Hobby, the G Plus with a 70C 5000 China Hobby. Let me, they sent out to me for review. Let me unplug it, and we'll look at, we flew her hard, and we got 22% left with 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37 per cell. All right, 22% left. That's a perfect storage rate right there, and good battery. I've been very impressed with them so far. I've bought them long before they started sending them to me, and I've have no qualm. But I'll be honest, and you know, unless it's just those super cheap ones, you get what you pay for. It's more about LiPo care. If you're not using a battery and you charge it up and you don't use it, if you don't use it within 2 days, I highly suggest you discharge it down to below 30% if at all possible, because otherwise that energy stays in that battery and degrades the battery, and it starts getting puffier and puffier, and you get less performance out of it. Keep your batteries discharged if you don't use them within a few days of charging them. So, all right, well, there you go. That is the follow-up speed run without the tanks, and that was, what, 2 mile an hour more without the tanks, so 133 mile an hour. And this is not that big of an 80 millimeter, so she's got the power, she's got the howl, and she's got the attitude. God bless y'all. Gabriel, thank you for filming. Jesus is Lord. And don't forget, folks, faith, family, and friends, and then really cool Chinese trainer jets. See y'all later. Bye-bye.